It's a spring and summer to remember.
And see, the problem is perception. The problem is perception. Because the problem is many of you all, when you look at your situation, you are pessimistic rather than optimistic. In other words, you look at your situation as a glass that is half empty rather than looking at it as a glass that's half full. Y'all gonna catch that in a few minutes. You need to understand that no matter how bad the situation may seem to be, you got to learn how to step back and examine the purpose of your trouble, because behind every trouble there is a purpose. There has to be a reason why God has allowed this situation to enter into my life, and there must be some lessons that he wants me to learn while I'm in the midst of it. And once I learn the lesson, then I graduate out of the situation that I was in. Y'all looking at me strange. And that's why some of y'all are still in the same position that you've been in for years, because you're not looking at it and perceiving it differently. What you do is once you get in it, you try to find people that don't have the ability to deliver you, and you talk to them about what's going on in your life. Y'all looking at me strange. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of talking to people that don't have the power to deliver me. I need to start talking to somebody who possesses the ability to bring me out of whatever I'm going through. And maybe the reason why I'm in it is because God is trying to get me to recognize and realize that I don't need to tap into somebody else's power, but I have the power on the inside of me to get out of my own situation. I wish I had some Bible readers. Luke 10:19 says, behold, I've given you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, upon all the powers of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Understand that the greater one on the inside of you has given you the power and the ability to get out of whatever situation you're in. Touch your neighbor and tell them, say, act out in the power that's in you. In other words, you need to make a decision that I'm about to stretch out, I'm about to move out, I'm about to go up, I'm about to blow up, because what God has for me is far better than where I am right now. I feel like preaching. So the first thing that needs to change is your perception. Sit down. Give me a few more minutes. I promise y'all, if y'all give me 15 more minutes, by 8:30, we'll all be up out of here. So the first thing that needs to happen is we need to have a perception change. We need to view our situation differently. But then the next thing that needs to happen, beloved brothers and sisters, is we need to have a vocabulary change. Okay, God, I ain't gonna get no help here. I wish I was in a Catholic church tonight. I said the next thing that needs to happen is you need to have a vocabulary change. Can I tell you that the reason why many of us are stuck is not because the enemy has put us in a bad place, but the reason why many of us are stuck is because of the simple fact that every time we open up our own mouths, gloom and doom and discouragement comes out of our mouths on a consistent basis. Can I tell you, beloved brothers and sisters, that the reason why many of us are in the positions that we're in, it ain't because the devil has set us up, but it's because we have spoken ourselves into those places. Y'all looking at me strange. I'm gonna stay here for a minute because the problem is Bishop, the problem is Bishop-elect. I'm gonna tell you what the problem is, First Lady. The problem is that if we really understood who we were, we wouldn't say half the stuff that we say. Yeah. Okay, it's quiet. I'm gonna say it again. If we really understood who we were and what we possess and what's in our mouths, we would not say half the stuff we say. Prove it to me, Dr. Sapp. I'm gonna tell you real fast. Don't you know who you are? Do you know who you are? I ain't talking about what your mama named you, what your daddy named you. I'm talking about who you were before they even came together. Do you know who you are? Don't you know that you have been fearfully and wonderfully made? Don't you understand that you were created in his image and in his likeness? Do you not understand that since you were created in his image and likeness, and because of the simple fact that you were created in his image and in his likeness, that you possess the same abilities that he had? Do you not understand that for 6 straight days he did nothing but speak stuff into existence, and the same power that he had, he released into you? Do you not understand, beloved brothers and sisters, that that's a fact simply based upon scripture? But if you would just pick up the Bible for 10 minutes and read it, you would have found it a long time ago, because he's already told you, beloved, that you possess the ability to bind and to loose. Whatever ye bind in heaven shall be bound on earth. Whatever ye loose in heaven shall be loosed on earth. Do you not understand that demons begin to tremble every time you get ready to speak, because they understand that destiny is released in the words that you speak? And you're sitting up here just saying any and anything, every and everything, and then wondering why you find yourself in a catch-22. The reason why you inhale is because every time you open up your mouth, you speak in hell. I can't get no help. But I wonder, is there anybody in here other than me that understand that Proverbs is right, that death and life is in the power of your own tongue? And when you start speaking life, you need to understand that life will transition your whole existence. When you start speaking life, you can declare and decree some things and it will be so. I wish I had about 2 or 3 people that understood that life is in your mouth. Just touch somebody, tell them life is in my mouth. Y'all ain't looking at nobody. I said touch your neighbor and tell them, say life is in your mouth. That's why you need to just shut your mouth. If you can't say nothing positive, don't say nothing at all. Just hush up, sis. Be quiet, bruh. Hold your tongue, boo. But you need to make up in your mind that if it's not going to cause somebody to grow, if it's not going to cause somebody to increase, if it's not going to cause somebody to expand, it's not worth saying. I wish I had a witness in here. Is there anybody in here other than me that made up in your mind I'm speaking life or nothing at all?